Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. Today we have the finale of my Terra trilogy. Potentially that's going to be a fourth video with me doing jobs in the quarry with the Terra, but this is more about the Terra production, so let's get this started. We need a semi-tractor and we need one with a lot of gears. So let's take this one, which is the only one where I actually have a 13-speed transmission, so that should be doing nicely. We also, and I don't really need to go into that menu for that, we also need the low max. There it is. So let's get this thing out, let's get the foots lifted up and all of that. The feet, I mean, the foots, yeah. Whatever. And let's get one of these trucks loaded up. There should be more available right now, but I'll be only transporting one because this thing weighs between 35 and 40 tons, something like that, and I don't really wanna bother with that. Or at least not with twice the mass, so one of them is going to be enough for today. Otherwise, we are definitely looking at a multi-parter because we are just going to be crawling. And I don't wanna deal with that. Damn it. Hit the wrong button. So yeah, the thing is, sadly the ramps don't have any extensions like the main body of the trailer, so we'll have to maneuver this a bit carefully. It's also not helping that it's getting dark here, but yeah, another vehicle spawned right behind us, which was very close, but yeah, let's see if I can make this work. This is one of those I can't believe it's actually intended to work that way kind of deals. Okay, we are barely hanging on to the side of the ramps here. Okay, but we are on. And I need to put this actually on the front part, because I need some of that mass to pull down on the, or to push down on the actual driven wheels so that we get more traction on the hills. So let's do it like this. And yeah, you can easily see that there is space for another truck, but once again it would just be way too heavy and take forever to deliver. I've tried it before and I think I left one truck behind in the desert here. Evidently I came back later to collect it again. Maybe do this first and then start folding in the ramp. Just like that. And here we go. Yeah, this isn't going to be too quick, by the way. Don't expect this to be a 5-minute episode or something. This could go into overtime. And yeah, I really wish that first up, multiple Terras could spawn there. It always seems to be one, but at least by now it's going to spawn another if you move one out of the delivery area. But I also wish they could potentially spawn in, or be delivered to different locations as well. The two harbors for export, the heavy-duty workshop in the industrial area on Jeju Island. That kind of deal, that would be neat. But yeah, it's meant to only go into the quarry. I mean, it's understandable because that's really its final destination. But it would be nice if it could be going to some other places as well for a bit of variety. Oh god, almost tipped it over. Yeah, this is going to be a bit top heavy as a whole. The truck is sitting very high and mighty on the trailer. I mean, theoretically I could have just kept it on the back and then once I run into the problems I could move it forward, but I decided to just think ahead and put it there right away. Less than 9 kilometers straight line. Slightly below 25 kilometers in terms of road distance. This is gonna be a long one. But yeah, overall I gotta say I love that we have another vehicle factory in the game. It's amazing, it's such a good fit for the game, just being able to produce a vehicle, potentially buy it for yourself, and now also getting the delivery option. During the development of this update, I actually got the dev to also add a card to the Trello about doing the same for the Formula SCM deliveries, of production I mean, so that we can eventually deliver it, but, well, with everything that happened with the update, that hasn't been added yet, so, yeah, hopefully at some point. Got another cheetah in bad condition that should be able to refresh itself at some point. I don't really care about this stuff right now. We really need to get into the depot stuff so that I can do some things on there and get the stuff sorted out, get everything to auto refresh and never to break down. But yeah, I need more properties for that. I need to take care of some stuff. Get the depots constructed. I won't be doing everything on video. That would be rather boring once we get like 5 more depots just doing the same over and over. But there are some locations that I'm considering to do for a video. And some locations that I want in general for the depots. I also kinda need to figure out whether or not the depots can now serve vehicles that are coming by on the other side of the road. That has been a problem a while ago, and I'm not entirely sure if that has been fixed because, well, if you have one of the depots in the middle of a desert and the truck actually needs to go past it, find the next spot to turn around, and then come back to be serviced, and then find the next turnaround part, it's just gonna be like 5 or 10 kilometers in additional distance that it needs to travel in order to make use of a depot, and that's not really what I like it to be. But yeah, I feel like I can at least retire some of my additional semis now. I don't need all of them to be out right now. We have 15 slots at this point for our company vehicles, and I've rarely used all of them at this point. It's just, I kind of like the restriction of having 10 because 10 always felt like just a, just a few more were needed, but more like needed in order to do all the stuff that I wanted to, and I don't think I should be able to do everything at once. I actually like having to go back and swap out vehicles once I don't need one particular one in order for something else to be done. But as it is right now, I can do anything I want and it just doesn't really matter. Okay, I think it's a good idea to get refueled over here, even if we are still pretty good on fuel, but there's going to be a long journey before the next gas station. And I mean, ideally I would even be skipping Baiyang because it's kind of a detour, but I think that might be necessary to do. So let's just drive over here and get fueled up again. In the meantime, I might as well refresh some of my vehicles, like, yeah, that one is in the middle of the desert, that's not gonna visit anything anytime soon to refresh. That Roadmaster, yeah, that's on its way to another place, so that should be good. This one will also visit another depot sooner than later. Same for the Lobo. I really need to get this better organized because otherwise, yeah, you can see it right now. It's just, where does this one even go? Oh, to a plastics factory. That's actually pretty nice. Didn't even remember what route I gave it exactly. That one is just doing containers. Okay. And my gang younglings depot is slowly running out of stuff. What a shame. What the hell was that guy doing? Oh, trying to turn around there. I noticed this a while ago, but a lot of these turnaround loops are way too highly frequented by traffic vehicles. Like, what are they even doing there? And why? I like that we got a few more options for turnaround loops now. With AI vehicles, that's really what's needed here and there. I could even set up my one of my semi-trucks with the B double trailer just so that it's driving around here. That would be nice. I've been thinking about that for a while now. I have my 15 vehicles. Maybe I'll just give some of the slots to some cars or so. It's going to not make any profit, it's going to cost a bit of money, but imagine just having some of your cars drive around in the wild, that would be nice. Some special vehicles, whatever. Just give them some routes that they cannot use anything with and just let them run in some fun loops around the map, just to have it a bit more lively. But yeah, climbing up these roads here with a slight slope, it's, yeah, you can see that it's gonna take a while, so yeah. I should have maybe thought about some topics up ahead in order to fill the void, but I have no idea. But yeah, that's kind of a thing that it boils down to with some of these vehicles. The most interesting part of this journey is loading and unloading, and I don't know. I like the concept of it, but, well, we might need a different class of semi-truck for this kind of thing. I don't just want to slap another even stronger engine into them. I think currently they are in a good place for most cargo, but this kind of thing, we might need something decidedly heavy duty for this. Just letting some of the cars overtake here. Before we get to the dirt section again. I also made another suggestion recently, which is nothing really too groundbreaking for the game, but it's been put on the Trello already. And it has something to do with what I'm doing right now. Because I suggested the game to get some climbing lanes on the main road here. So basically another lane that usually the cars wouldn't be getting into. But if you come by with a heavily loaded truck or something like that, which is just going to be completely stopping the traffic, you can just go there and just pull over. While still just climbing up on that lane, but leaving space for everybody else to overtake. We're gonna have to see how they implement it once they get to it. But yeah, my suggestion has been making it like some of those wider shoulders on the on Jeju Island. There are some roads that just have like another lane worth of pavement to the left and right of the actual road, but it doesn't really count as an actual lane. It's just you could theoretically park there. And that kind of deal would be ideal for this. Or if they can make it happen, just add an actual lane with all the lines and everything, but make it so that the AI doesn't go on there. If traffic goes onto that lane, it's just gonna be defeating the entire purpose. I will have to see how they do it and what it ends up being. Right now it's just in some of the candidates sections, so we'll have to see if they even ever really implement it. I would love to see it because especially with this truck, the upcoming climbing section is going to be rough. The one right after the unpaved road bit over here. I also hope we'll get some more cars with another update sooner than later. I still waited out by seeing the VW Safari so often on the map. It's a vehicle that shouldn't be that common in traffic. People keep saying stuff about realism, but when we get something like that as a pretty common vehicle, that's weird. I wouldn't mind it as like a barn find or something. But I definitely need a few more cars like coupes, sedans, station wagons. Some sports cars would be nice. Would love to see a C4 Corvette in-game. That would be so amazing. Also the, what was it, Chevy Monte Carlo? The one that the asset vehicle starter police car is based on. That's such a nice vehicle that I would also love in-game. Plus a whole bunch of other things. Maybe even a high-end sports or supercar. Although with how this game works, it wouldn't even be all that amazing. Usually if you want a high-performance car, you put a V12 into the Mini Cooper and then you're good to go. So maybe when it comes to high-end sports cars, it should be something light. Like Lotus Elise or something like that would really be doing good numbers here. Or you know what, even some more classic sports cars or retro-inspired ones. We've been doing some more races recently. I mean, I posted the videos, so you should at least be aware of it. And especially the, what was it, the subclass with some of those retro cars. It's amazing, and I would love to see more vehicles in there. Currently we have the Panther, the Aston, the Fortem, and the Xyno. So yeah, those are all like, I don't know, they are from different eras really, but they are pretty neat. Some are from the early 70s, I think, or late 60s with the Aston, which is a 240Z lookalike, to early to or late 80s to early mid 90s with the Panther. Those things are looking really nice, and we could have maybe another light entry-level sports car for that. Maybe the MX2, or no, the MR2, I mean, sorry. That would be a neat one that should be fitting right in there, and I don't know, there could be a few others. Maybe even Lotus Elise, although that might be arguably a bit too new. Maybe one of the older Lotus Esprits, but that might also be a bit too heavy, I'm not entirely sure. Would have to actually look up the performance stats for some of these, but yeah, there are definitely more options that could be added, and now we are coming to the worst climb of this section here. Not necessarily even because of the angle, but just because it's a long one. And yeah, this is where I would like another lane to the right, just so that I can let anybody behind me go past, without having to fully go onto the dirt. Oh, that's actually working, that's nice. But yeah, let's stay on the road. Off to the side a little, that's not a problem, but I don't want to be slowed down by going into the dirt. Oh, there's actually a full-on convoy coming in from behind. It's actually kind of nice, because I've been trying to investigate the problems with vehicle spawning that, well, I've been encountering quite a lot with 200% traffic, but that's a high setting to begin with. Now I'm on 100%, if I can replicate the same stuff that I've seen where the entire game just completely goes berserk and spawns in way too many cars, then I might have a better argument for that getting fixed sooner than later. But yeah, all of a sudden we have quite a few vehicles approaching. And I don't really have much in the way of getting out of their way. So we'll just keep going. I don't want to hand over to the AI right now, so I'll just drive this myself. While more cars come around the corner. But I also don't want them to go right next to me right now, because they might damage the truck if they come too close. Once we get to the top of this climb, I can just go off to the side and let them overtake. That shouldn't be a problem at that point. I wonder if there are going to be many more vehicles approaching, because I've definitely seen some especially bigger ones in the distance, like the Roadmaster, but there were at least 2 of them. So we'll have to see once we get to the top, let the others pass them, then keep on going, see how many more approach. But yeah, from what I can tell right now, we don't really have much of a spawn cap for the vehicles. They just keep on going, and if they cannot despawn early enough by getting stuck somewhere or behind another vehicle, it's just gonna get worse and worse. I should have maybe stayed on the road for a bit longer, but yeah, I would rather let these people pass right now. I mean, this seems to be a pretty high amount of traffic for the default setting. And we might be stuck with all of these vehicles until we finally get off the main road near Bayang. If we don't have to make it to Bayang in order to get another fuel stop in anyways. Which I think we'll need to do in the end. Let's slightly notch that guy to the side because I want to secure my space on the road again. The people in front of me are not really moving away from me either, so that's kinda... Might as well go into autopilot right now and repair one of my buses. That should be good there. Let's turn on the Jake brake just in case. But yeah, this isn't all that bad. I've definitely seen worse cases where you would just get a seemingly endless amount of cars on one side of the road. And part of this is definitely down to me having been on this road for a while and slowed down all the vehicles behind me. So they didn't really have much of a way to clear out. I would hope that some of these at least turn off there and go to Gappa or the lumber mill, whatever. Just so that I don't have to deal with them anymore. But yeah, maybe I can let them pass over here. At least some of them. Let's get off the dirt before the next one comes. And yeah, this might actually be a case where we can get a bit more speed out of an 18-speed transmission, but I really don't want to do that. Come on, overtake. I think the overtaking attempts also depends on what vehicles they are in. So they don't just look for the lane being free, they take into account how much space on the lane they might need. And a bit of safety distance to any other vehicle. Oops, frame drops. Why the hell are we down to 40? These are the kind of things that I've been experiencing since one of the later CT versions, and it's weird. I hope it doesn't mess up the recording in any way. But yeah, maybe I just need to figure out a way to lower the graphics settings without the game looking too much worse for wear, but we'll have to see. I've been doing a few things here and there, and some of the settings don't even seem to be doing all that much. But once you go to the view distance and you lower that a bit, it's just going to be a pop-up haven. Okay, let's get back onto the road here. We are almost over the crest over here. I think there's another small climb coming up in a moment before we get to Bayang, but that's really nothing like what we have been going through right here, and yeah, we should be good afterwards, apart from some of the coastal road thing. You know what, maybe it might be a good idea to turn this into a two-parter. Although I'm not entirely sure who would even watch that at this point. I might just, yeah, let's keep it as one episode, even if it takes an hour. So that we have done this, and afterwards that will be it. I wonder if going past Ara and staying on the coastal road there might be a better idea. I mean, if anything, if we get a connection from the quarry over to Desta, that would be a good place to start. That would be a route worth taking, but I think going off to the complete east side here, not that much. Got a rotator behind us. Yeah, I'm not going to make space for that because it's going to need too much. And we are also slowly running out of fuel. I'm gonna turn off the jake brake. I'm going to let it coast for a while. We need to get up one other hill and then we should be good to go and just let it roll down to the gas station, but we need to get there first. Yeah, please don't try and overtake me. I don't trust you. Yeah, let's turn off the engine, let it roll. We should be good here for a moment. After the next intersection there's going to be another... Jesus Christ, now we're getting really slow here. Never mind, we need power. I thought this was maybe a bit steeper. But yeah, trying to make it over the next crest with whatever fuel is remaining is looking that good right now. This might be a better job for another truck, maybe the FL1 or Golima. I think Golima right now has the largest tank, so that might be the better one to choose here. But yeah, just for how tough of a climb it is, how much fuel that's going to take, it's just going to not work out too amazingly here. Yeah, I'm just going to shortcut because I don't want to slow down and have to accelerate again. So this is the last little climb, but it's one that we have to brave before running out of fuel. Yeah, there's definitely something weird happening with us now having so many vehicles around. I was trying to maybe close the door before the next car, but let's get back onto the middle of the lane right now. Okay, there's nothing behind me anyway, so that's not a problem. But yeah, this might have been the wrong truck for the job. I think where the taxi just was, that's the end of the climb and that's the end of my fuel. Damn it. So we are going to refuel, but I'm going to try and take as little as I need, as I can. You shall not pass. Stay the fuck behind me. Maybe I should have gone for a little bit more, but maybe I can make this work. Come on, don't fail me. Come on, please. Please roll. Just keep rolling, just keep rolling. Ah, shit. So close yet so far. Okay, now we can just let it roll. The good thing is, since I reduced my traffic density compared to all the testing that I did, there shouldn't be too much of a pile-up in terms of cars at the intersections. Was really tough to get through the last few times, but this time around we should be good on that front. Let me just run out of fuel again. But yeah, from what I remember, the Atlas doesn't have the biggest fuel tank, so this isn't the best truck for the job. And now we shall coast. And try to not get overtaken by this trash truck over there. I should maybe just stick in the middle of the lane. I got the urge to drive on the sideline a bit, but it's not a good idea. Oh, come on. We might be good here. Should be picking up some more speed in a moment and make it around the last turn before the gas station. Come on, let's get going. Keep going. I don't know what they are doing over there. That seems really weird that they are not driving anymore. But they're up to 20 again. Honestly, in a way, this is the most exciting part of the journey right now. See if I can make it. But yeah, I would have to look up fuel capacities in Motortown info. I think that should give me an explanation for why this thing is running out of fuel and nobody else has ever complained. At least up to my knowledge. But yeah, here we go. Officially in Bayang now. And where we got the trash truck again, they apparently sorted out whatever was happening at that intersection over there. So, yeah. Thanks to all the streetlights, I can't really pull over because the truck would be pulling down all of them and likely damaging itself. The road furniture is really harsh on condition damage. But yeah, we made it into the gas station. There we go. I should have really looked at... You know what, let's stop real quick. Okay, can't be more than like 600 liters. Let's fill it up to half and then check how much capacity is left. So it's more like 500 liters. Oh god. Oops. Hit the button again. Didn't really want to. Thought I needed to confirm again, but here we are. Maybe I should reverse out of here. Don't mind me, I'm rejoining the road. And you should have seen that coming. I mean, it's not like I was getting on too quickly. You definitely had time to react to my presence. But yeah, here we go. Might as well make good use of the new roads here and get back up to that other road this way without having to turn around at the gas station. They have basically reintroduced their little bypass lane over here. This has been part of by Young in one of the first updates here. I think when they initially added Medium, they put this little dirt road in as well. Or even before Medium was added, and then someday this connection just vanished. I mean, it's not the most useful, but I'm still definitely planning on making a little rallycross track around here. Because, well, that's now an option and you cannot have too many rallycross tracks in this game. Yeah, that's a lot of traffic for just 100% density. The funny thing about this is, now that I'm recording this whole thing, I'm much more aware of how long this is taking, and I'm slowly stopping to believe that this is actually a worthwhile time investment. It's going to give us about 100, or no, more like 90k, including town bonus. And here, with how things are going right now with the engine power of our semi-truck, it would not be a great idea to double up on the deliveries, getting 2 vehicles in. I mean, if it takes 50% more time, it's likely going to be more worthwhile, but it sure as hell isn't going to feel like that, and I'm not down for that attempt. That might be a multi-part video at this point. Like a 3-part of regular length. So we'll be looking more at like 1.5 hours. Right now we are at half the time. But yeah, I'm still not there yet, so gonna take a bit longer. I forgot I got the low gear. Why is there now another trash truck behind me. Is that guy following me? Do I have a stalker? Again. I mean, I'm saying that half jokingly. I had somebody who somewhat stalked me a bit, but I mean, she was overall harmless. We're friends now. The person I'm talking about was just not too happy about the time where I didn't really want any contact with me anymore, so, naja. I shouldn't really get into that stuff here, it's just... I just want to make clear that I never had any serious stalker, thankfully. I bet the trash truck is going to loop around over there and come back from behind to, yeah, see me from the rear once more. Ah, see it? He turned right. Yeah, come on, Mixie, go pass. I don't wanna let the bus pass. Also interesting how everybody turns right. Here there are definitely a few intersections like this where maybe if 5% of vehicles turn left and the majority is going to turn right. I'm gonna try and keep an eye on the back since we don't really have too much to look out in front. Yeah, see that? Nobody's coming my way and... what the hell? That might be another bug report. I might as well take a screenshot right now. Yeah, there's definitely some foliage weirdness going on right now. I have no idea where those came from. They didn't used to be here. I've done these kind of trips more often recently and... or at least a few times, and didn't encounter anything like that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure unless some of the vehicles coming up from the highway might be able to go straight onto this road. The ones that are likely going to pick up, catch up with me again, they are likely just going to be spawning directly on the road. They're not going to be coming in from somewhere else and turning in here. So that's all a bit weird. Another 8 kilometers of this, yeah. I wonder if we could have a heavy delivery vehicle. That is also heavy machinery, so just a rigid truck able to carry the Terra on its back without slowing down all that much. I mean, not having the extra weight from the extended trailer, I don't need half of it here. That would already help with that being gone. But imagine just something that maybe has access to a stronger engine overall. That would be really nice right now. But a good part of the delivery is going to be getting into the quarry because the delivery point is at the bottom. So it might not be all that long until we hit the quarry, even though we are not even past the cement plant right now, so that's still a decent ways away. But at least the quarry is all downhill, so we shouldn't have that much of a problem there. Okay, another little climb, another downshift. I mean, honestly, I like that this stuff keeps you engaged and you can't just doze off because nothing is happening. You gotta be actively up and down shifting for this to work out well. I don't think the autopilot might be doing that great of a job here either, so yeah, it's at least keeping you engaged, but it's kinda bordering on tedium and it's a really, really long delivery. And I think this is at least one spot where you need the Terra to be in front. I think I managed to do everything else beforehand with the Terra being on the back of the trailer, but this is where it needed to be shifted over because otherwise it wouldn't allow the truck to move at all. But hey, we made it through the night. We are back at sunrise here and it's almost finished. Although we are only about to approach the cement plant and that should be I mean, that's gonna be a bit of a milestone because I think afterwards the terrain isn't quite as harsh. There's still gonna be one climb up ahead, which you can already see. But after that, we should be about good. Gonna be another little uphill once we get to the actual quarry. I'm just trying to not tip over the trailer here. Destroying the Terra at this point would be a really bad move. And my Bayang depot is running out of resources. I'd have to refresh that sooner or later. Right now, some of these depots are really taking care of a lot of vehicles. Once I get a few more depots near some of highly frequented spots, I might be able to distribute the load a little bit better. Right now, some of them in key locations, like the one in Gangyang, is just gonna have to deal with a lot of traffic. But yeah, no traffic vehicles around here. I don't think I've seen a single vehicle since we went through that one intersection there, where I found all the trees on the road for some reason. I can almost see the delivery point. The marker is just behind that hill there. Yeah, putting this all into one video at least puts into perspective just how much of a job this is. I don't think it's really worth it. I might not touch this for a while, to be honest. I mean, I've done it a few times in testing. It's always very similar, so I don't know. There aren't even all that many vehicle options to pick from in order to deliver this truck. It's always gonna be a semi and the low max. I mean, I could go with something else, like a Ridge truck and Linky, but there really isn't a good reason to do that. I mean, I could combine that with a fuel delivery from the refinery to the quarry, since that now also has a fuel station, but still it just wouldn't really do much. Apart from slowing me down even further, and I don't want that. Okay, gotta be careful here. Should have stayed on the road and taken a bit more speed, but I was trying to clear my throat and whatever. Oh, there's actually a vehicle coming up right now. That's kinda exciting for the trip. First one since we went onto the coastal road. That's weird. And yeah, we're about to come towards the depot that I built around here. I mean, I was testing a few things. I don't think this is really an amazing location. I mean, it's kind of necessary if you have AI tasks running in the quarry. Could sometimes get them out here, get them refreshed, and keep going like that. Or maybe if you have a delivery from the quarry to the cement plant, that's another good reason to use this, but yeah. Right now I either don't have any of those, or at least I'm not really taking advantage of my depot here. Okay, last climb. Finally. Almost an hour in. I think apart from running out of fuel, this couldn't have gone much smoother than what we have here, so yeah. This is about what you're going to experience if you try this for yourself. Might be a good thing that I'm doing this, so you don't have to. I mean, people who really love heavy deliveries, they are going to have fun here, especially if they put a second one onto the trailer. But for me at least, this is maybe a bit too much of this kind of thing. But yeah, let's see, maybe they even adjusted the payment already, I don't know. I don't think anybody was complaining about it, but right now, after seeing how long this really takes and not just going with my feeling on how long it might be, this, if it's still the same as in testing, it might not be a good payout anymore. For then again, what really is a good payout in this game? They really need to establish a baseline. This being a really late game thing with all the stuff you need to even deliver in order to get one of these things to produce in the first place and how much effort it is to get over here, this should be a really high-end job payment-wise. God, it's so tempting to just drive it off a cliff here and hope that it comes down unscathed. I don't think that would be happening. I mean, I've seen some people do stuff like this with the terras in the quarry here, since they can take a good beating before taking much damage, but for this one to maybe save a minute, it wouldn't be worth it after all of this. And I'm back down to a low fuel warning. I don't care too much. There's another fuel station inside. Fuck you. Oh, I hate that. I don't even know why that shit just happened. Fuck. Can I? Yes, I can. And you know what? I'm not loading this shit back onto the trailer. Fuck that. We are rolling now. I can't believe it. I don't even know what happened there. That didn't really look like too much of a sharp turn, but all of a sudden it just almost tipped over. I managed to save it, but then overcorrected, got it on the other side, and yeah. By the way, I can't really even give it any more power because of the valet mode, but at least it's rolling down pretty consistently. So even if I try to hit the gas now, it's just going to slow down, but the slopes keep it rolling. So yeah, between 80 and 90k for an undamaged truck. Let's see how much this one gives me. I'm not impressed, honestly. Seems to still be the same payout. With town effect, it of course goes a bit higher into mid 90k territory, but this is a lot of work. But yeah, want to show that to you guys. It's one of the big parts of the update. But yeah, I think I'm kinda done with it now. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, despite it being a long and tedious episode. I'm just gonna spawn in the stuff here and get my truck fueled up again. And that's gonna be it. I also wish that this fuel station actually needed supplies. It's just always open, which feels a bit weird for how remote it is. Anyways, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Until then, have a good one, and bye bye.